What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be going over my favorite day trade setups going into next week. I'm looking to make at least $200 next week. Otherwise, I'm going to do whatever the top comment says on my YouTube short. I'm a little bit afraid to even look, so I got to be prepared for the week ahead of us. Let's go ahead and start with my favorite setup, and we will also end with my other favorite setup. So first is MU, where we have an inside bar. This is the strategy that I use almost every single day. And if you're interested in learning more about that, just go ahead and click the video in the top right corner. But for now, we can see on MU that we have failed this all-time high breakout. It reported really good earnings, but I believe those good earnings were pre-priced in the week before, and now we've given all of that back. If we look on the weekly time frame, we can see just how far up MU has moved over the past year. It's actually up closer to 600 or 700%, so it could very easily give a good amount back here. And so for right now, we're going to stay patient and wait for a break below or a break above for calls or puts. I would not be surprised if we sort of make a gentle high here for the higher time frames and then ultimately break down. So I will be staying patient and seeing what the market gives us on this. Next, let's just go ahead and look at QQQ in general. QQQ is an ETF of all of the major tech stocks, so we can use it to look at what the sector is doing generally. And then when we look at individual tech stocks, we can see if they're relatively strong or relatively weak compared to the market. So we can see on QQQ that we sat pretty sideways over here in February, and now we're breaking out pretty sharply to the downside, just like almost everything. Now, if you compare that chart to Apple, Apple has not broken out to the downside yet. It has not made a new low. It is rejecting the resistance level ahead. And for that reason, I do think we end up going lower, but it does appear relatively strong. And for that reason, I would love to see us bounce on support here. These trade ideas on this stock are going to be more of quick intraday scalp opportunities rather than large time frame type reversals. Nvidia is quite the opposite. I'm looking only to go short on Nvidia because we can see that we're breaking down on this head and shoulders pattern from the weekly time frame. And as we break down on this, I think we are going to trigger a lot of selling pressure. I think Nvidia has been priced to perfection so far at these recent highs. So I think there's a lot of potential downside from here. So for that reason, I'm only looking to go short on Nvidia going into next week. The next favorite stock that I am looking at is Meta. Meta is down at least 10% over the past 2 days, and it's down more like 30% since it reported earnings here in January. For that reason, I think it is overextended to the downside, and I wouldn't be surprised if the whole market sort of gaps down on Monday. So if we see that, I would love to go long on Meta. The ideal setup would be right here at about 486. However, if we get a partial gap fill on these levels here, this is a good potential long opportunity for me as well. Then my final favorite setup is going to be Netflix. Netflix is making a bull flag pattern, which typically breaks out to the upside. So I'm waiting for that weekly breakout to the upside, which could be pretty big. Netflix has also been relatively strong compared to the market. It's one of the few that actually closed green on Friday. So I'd love to go long on this. However, one thing that I don't like is that we have not seen any major liquidity sweeps on the higher time frame. All of these lows are higher lows, but just barely. So ideally, I would love to see us sort of sweep out all these lows and then reverse. If we see the right setup happening, I'd love to take this long position. For right now, it looks like we've swept out this high from 2 Thursdays ago, and we've reversed pretty good to the downside back underneath this support level. So for right now, we're getting a bit of conflicting evidence. It looks like we've reversed pretty good. However, it is relatively strong. So ultimately, we're going to stay extra patient on here and wait for a breakout above these levels here in red for a long position, or a break down below here for a short position, with the potential liquidity sweep and reversal on this level to go long as well. So those are my favorite setups going into next week. Go ahead and click like and click subscribe so that you do not miss my trade recap videos from this week, where you can see the trades that I actually take. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.